Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for the collective. So welcome, collective. Ooh, all right. Already starting off. Oh, lots of emotions. Mm. All right. So this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. So collective, in the past, you were in the energy of spiritual union, Two of Cups, meeting of the minds, emotionally. It's not just a mental connection because their foreheads are meeting. It's like they're touching their third eyes. They can see each other completely, see each other. And then with that shared cup, they share their emotions. They're comfortable sharing their emotions. Getting a lot of truth, freedom, and feeling your emotions, like permission in this connection to share emotions. But I'm feeling a lot of love coming from this. Keep hearing like faded. All right. Okay. All right. So in this connection, there was someone in your past who you were really drawn to, who at the time when you felt this amazing pull and freedom to be yourself with them and communicate, and you could really see each other, feels very fated, destiny. And for whatever reasons, we haven't gotten to that yet, for whatever reasons, this connection did not last. That those wonderful qualities and those loving feelings was not meant to last. I'm getting that feels like the person you were connected with became very greedy and stubborn, focused on wealth, even though they show financial ineptitude. That they there's more of a focus on themselves. That greed isn't just about financial, it's about what I want. Something switched, or maybe it slowly switched. More and more, you saw this very greedy person, someone who's very stubborn. They're very concerned about how others are perceiving them, instead of like in the beginning, the Two of Cups, where you could see each other so clearly and beautifully. It became more important about how others were perceiving them and not how your connection. This person very callous, feels like it progressed. First it, stubborn, worried about, it's like maybe when you were out with this person, you didn't exist. You'd be right there, but they'd be they wouldn't include you. It's like you could feel that they were tuning into other people. They couldn't connect with you and other people at the same time. They really wanted to be the center of attention. Feeling a little jealousy, like you might have a light about you. You might have a charismatic quality, that an inner light that draws people in. And so with you by their side, they loved that charismatic, but then they loved being near someone with that light, but then they would shove you out and they're like, it's me, I want that limelight, I want that attention. So as this relationship continued, they became more callous. They used a lot of emotional control. So I'm getting like gaslighting, manipulation. They misused their power. Oh, okay. So your beautiful light, after spending so much time around you, there's this jealousy and this greed of your energy, of your light. There's a lack of appreciation. I want that light. And after you giving so much to this person and so much to this connection, hoping to grow more on that beautiful feeling that you originally had, instead they kept shoving you out, not seeing you, not giving their emotions, taking your light, your energy, your love and caring when they needed it and were depleted, but not reciprocating. I get the feeling that this person really thought that after spending so much time in your light, that was their light. And maybe as well, we've got to not blame all of this. It takes two to be in a partnership. Maybe you as well lost yourself in this connection and kept giving and giving to this person. So you forgot your own light. You forgot that you were the one, you have a beautiful light that's attractive. And the more it feels like a lot of cruel behavior, cruelty, manipulation, a lack of appreciation, a lack of loving, a lack of caring. And the more that this continued, it's like maybe even you felt like you don't have, it feels like they took your life force. And to be fair, you also gave up. You kept giving up more and more of yourself in hopes that eventually they would see your value, but instead they believed that this life force, this light was theirs, that it originated with them, and you were left very depleted. Feels very codependent. Wow. It's such, the beginning of this story felt so beautiful and so loving and hopeful. And then it just got worse and worse and heartbreaking. This isn't how you expected it to go. I could feel in that Two of Cups, this expectation of this feels so amazing now. I can't wait to continue this on. All right. So in present time collective, we're in Six of Cups, memories of love. So nostalgia. We are in present time, even in this reading, looking at the past, a past love. I think there was love. I think it felt like there was love on both sides, but something happened where it just, two people who didn't know how to have a balanced connection. Oh. Okay, so now as you look back at this connection, you see that really you needed to work on yourself. That you got really lost in the sauce of this relationship. Very, you dove deep. There were opportunities to exit. There were many exits on the freeway of this connection. And you were like, no, I put so much into this, or whatever the reasons, the kids, the hope, the memories of how that initially felt, we can get back there. We can get back to this. And so it was a lot of work that was misdirected into, because the more you gave to this connection and the more you gave to this person, because you wanted so much to find that, to get back to Two of Cups and build on that feeling, those feelings, that connection, the more you gave and worked, the more they went in a very a different direction. Greedy, jealous, manipulative, gaslighting. They projected instead of growing as a person, they projected their limitations onto you. They honestly, I get the feeling, they honestly believe that how they perceive you is correct. They're like, no, collective is this. And it's really, they have no idea that they are talking about their own limitations, their own weaknesses that they have projected. I don't know why this is coming up right now. Okay, you might be feeling isolated and lonely. Or I'm getting the feeling you felt isolated and lonely in this connection. And you lost your way. You lost your way in this connection. It's not for a lack of effort. And when I said it's fated, it's destiny, I feel like there are so many lessons that you needed to learn about yourself, about how you relate to others, how you relate to yourself, what you find important. And what I'm getting right now is that you are coming out of a lot of deep soul searching, a lot of deep healing, going within to find your answers, and you're ready to come out as new you, as a much smarter you, as a much wiser you. All right, a family pattern is passion ignited in reverse. So this is Ace of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. Okay, Ace of Wands in reverse and Ace of Cups in reverse. This feels, okay, both you and the person you were connected with, both you and the person in this connection, if this sounds like your story, both of your family patterns, your family of origin, where families very uncomfortable with emotions. A lot of repressed emotions. I'm getting that quite possibly the person you were connected with had more of that experience. Emotions not welcome. Loving, caring, God, that's actually both. That there's a lack of love. This is both. It's for each kind of thing I'm talking about. It's a mixture. So you're going to have to see where it resonates and which one is your family and which one might be this person's connection, family. Both feel like there is a lot of passion in the beginning. And so it might be more of lust, confused for love, and feeling that fire. And why it doesn't last is because there's no adding to love. There's no love added to this. It stays in that very lustful space. And because wanting attention, needing attention, projecting that the other person needs to make you feel happy and fulfilled. It's the other person's job. There's that codependency instead of, I know how to fulfill myself. I'm with a partner who also feels complete and knows how, has many avenues of feeling complete and whole as a person and as a being. And instead it's depending on each other. That's why there's such an attraction. There were so many matches since both of you had families of origin that were very similar. It felt very familiar. I don't feel that either of you liked your childhood necessarily and wanted to recreate that. And yet that's what happened. Someone in this connection really emulated their parents' relationship. They might have denied it or not be conscious of it, but that is what marriage, that's what connection and relationship looks like. And so they, once the initial wow, fireworks dies down, it turns into controlling and manipulating and more of power dynamics, winning. Feels very cold by the end of this connection from where it started. Very disappointing. Like I can feel the frustration and the disappointment. All right. So the personal issue that you're working through right now is wisdom, Hierophant. All right. So it feels like a lot of personal deceit, deceiving yourself, ignoring red flags, a false idea of what a relationship is. Maybe it's about, for one person, it feels like you might have been the doormat in this connection, the one that always acquiesces, the one that, because your focus is getting back to that Two of Cups feeling at the beginning of this reading, and then building from there, that was your goal, your idea, what you thought. you were willing to overlook every time that it got worse and worse in this connection. Feels like you really couldn't communicate. Maybe you didn't have strong communication skills back then. Feels like this person you were connected with was all talk, that they didn't back up what they said with action. And this is someone who makes really poor decisions. Like, on the whole, they make really, pretty good, but when they mess up big. I feel that since you didn't call them out for whatever reasons, maybe it was emotionally and mentally unsafe, maybe physically unsafe, to call them out on their behavior, because they would withhold that Two of Cups feeling and blame it on you, that you're the reason why we can't get to this Two of Cups feeling again. That for whatever reason you would freeze. I'm like, I don't even know how to communicate this anymore. It stops the communication. Makes you, it really is like emotional manipulation, mental control. So now that you are where you are now, it's time to take the wisdom from what you've learned. There's a lot why this relationship was fated is because you came from a family of origin where there was no love, that there was probably the same huge spark between your parents in the beginning, and then it can't last because it becomes more about greed and division and a power play between the two, between the mother and the father. And so unwittingly, even if you didn't want to, you recreated that in this connection, even if you tried not to. And so now the personal issue you're coming up with is creating something new, consciously creating, like, I definitely don't want this. I see what I did, see what happened there. I see how I participated in this. I want to do this differently. It feels like you've really been working on yourself. Your conscience, what you would do if no one was there to judge you. Eight of Swords, trapped in fear. Yes. Okay, so this is definitely a mental prison. It feels like being in this connection, as the time went on, it was a mental prison. And you kept yourself willfully blinded to the truth of this connection, because it was just, you were in so deep. Feels like you really lost yourself in this connection. Separated yourself maybe from family or friends or both, people who cared, because you just got more and more exhausted and more focused on this person and healing this person and this connection, because eventually I'll get back to this beautiful place. And I don't have time. I don't have energy for anybody else. And you would have, if you have friends around and family, you couldn't tell them the truth about what's going on, about how miserable this is or was. You had a pretense of, everything's fine. Oh, I'm doing great. Because you keep focusing on that Two of Cups feeling. Feels like you really fooled yourself. Feels like you really lost your light, your access to your own light. And what you want to do right now is have a lot of compassion and nurture past you that was stuck. Forgive past you. Understand you made the choices you made because you thought that you were doing the right thing. And now you realize the truth. Now you realize that you were part of co-creating this relationship and allowing someone to treat you this poorly and staying in a relationship where you're treated really poorly. And it's okay. Right now, it's time to have a great deal of compassion for yourself, nurture yourself, heal, find your emotional stability. It feels like you're taking your energy back. You're healing from this. You're taking your light back. You're taking your life force back. You're focusing on you. I feel this massive focus on you, on the you want to be, the healed version of you, the healed version of you who now has a lot of wisdom. All right. In the center of the deck, or of the spread here, is your higher self, is Eight of Cups in reverse, emotional withdrawal. Okay. For a long time, I feel this emotional exhaustion, giving so much, being afraid to trust yourself and trust others. So it feels like you have withdrawn for quite some time, pretty isolated, to heal from this, to nurture yourself, to process what happened, to process really seeing this person clearly was probably the first step. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did not see them clearly. I had the lens of Two of Cups. I had this lens through the relationship. And now I'm seeing them clearly. That's a great first step. I get it. Oh my gosh, the hurt, the heartbreak. Seeing all the red flags along the way. And then you start seeing your part in it, how you kept making allowances, how you kept letting go of beautiful parts of yourself to try to fit into this connection. Maybe started absorbing some of the toxic stuff that they were projecting onto you, and you really believed your lack of worth and value. Not fully, it feels like, but to some extent, like, wow, I want to be honest about this. Now you're seeing your part in this. That's the next. And then with that wisdom card, I'm getting the next level. So I'm seeing, I'm closed off. It's dark. I don't know what happened. Oh my gosh. I see what they did. I see them now very clearly. I see the red flags. Then the next level, I see my part in that. So it doesn't, everything is true. You're just, it's like nesting dolls. You're just seeing an expanded version of it. And so that next level is seeing your part in it, the ways you don't stand up for yourself, maybe, or ignore the red flags, let them get away with questionable behavior, just passivity. So seeing your part, whatever that is. And then the next is that wisdom. What are the lessons I've learned about this? Then the next could be, oh my gosh, there are tons of people out there who are going through the same lessons. This is a collective issue of healing family patterns that have been going on. And I see that now. So now that you've done so much healing, wherever you are on this healing journey, it's time to come out of that emotional withdrawal. It's time to heal that heart space. It's time to trust yourself that you know too much now to go back and repeat this type of pattern. It's time to stop blocking that heart space and the walls and defensiveness. You've healed so much of that woundedness. Allow that light, your light, to shine in. I've got my dog is chewing on a bone and it's falling apart, so I apologize for the intrusion. I feel like you want to. I believe in synchronicities. And so this worry behind me in the past that something's going wrong, it feels like it's still got this pull, this connection. You're still, there's a habit, since you spent so much time giving your energy to this person, your attention, it feels like even energetically, constantly checking their temperature. Where are they now? Chasing their energy. So it's taken a lot to pull your energy back and focus on yourself and focus on your healing. But it's time to open that heart space. You weren't meant to go through this and then never love again and be guarded. You were meant to learn from this. See the family pattern, see your personal issues around this, and come out the other end and really find someone who is that Two of Cups that you can build and have a successful relationship. You know so much now from getting what you don't want out of the connection, being who you didn't want to be in the connection. And I feel this real strong sense of you not wanting, you won't settle. You won't acquiesce. Who you are, the truth of who you are in the next connection. You want someone who will continue to meet you at that Two of Cups level and more. Your challenge right now is intuition. This is High Priestess. Your challenge is when you are in really steeped emotions, I'm getting both. It doesn't have to just be negative emotions, unwanted emotions, even positive emotions. You'll just get lost in the emotions and become very ungrounded. Lose yourself in those emotions, and you lose your intuition. When I have a large emotional response, positive or negative, I'm lost. I become wrapped, blinded. I'm not in touch. I'm not grounded. I'm not connecting with my higher self. I'm not receiving intuitive hits. It feels like you might have gone into that kind of like a fantasy world that was very ungrounded. You couldn't bring it into reality because you're like, everything's fine. This is great. It would be wonderful. I love this. You know, we all have problems. We have issues, but oh, so amazing. Staying kind of lost in a fantasy version, staying in your emotions instead of checking in, a daily check-in, being more grounded, connected with your higher self. Feels like at the beginning of the connection, you had a lot of moments of clarity where you might have spoken the truth, pointed out red flags, but there was such a backlash because this is a power struggle. You didn't realize what game you were playing, what game they were playing, how callous they could be, how manipulative, how they might have even physically intimidated you, mentally, emotionally. And they're very stubborn, like even pointing out something, maybe they would deflect and project that back onto you. It just feels like this person, there was no desire to grow. Maybe that's also part of this destiny, is realizing that you really want growth. You want personal growth. You want to be more conscious in your living for yourself and be surrounded with people who are more conscious of how they behave, more conscious of how they love, how they communicate. Feels like a lot of, no matter how painful this was, it really woke you up. So, all right, I'm going to stop this reading here and take it over to Patreon and continue, where I'll look at what you desire, the lesson, advice, and then I'll do a psychic meditation where we kind of work with this charged energy. If this has resonated and it's frustrating and it's kind of lit up, activated, triggered some energies in your space, we can clear blocks and then amplify what you do want going forward. So, all right, thank you so much. If you want to follow the end of this reading, there's a link in the description box below to Patreon. And I really appreciate all your likes and comments and subscribing, because that really helps this channel grow. So thank you so much. All right, take care. Bye.